Okay, so for week 10 of summer anime, season's almost over. It doesn't really feel like it. We had some finales this week. My Wife Has No Emotion finished up. Kind of like a strange romance show. It was very weird and dystopian. That was kind of like a somewhat cute show. Besides that, Shoshimin also wrapped up. Kind of like an interesting finale. It was a really good anime, so we can talk about those. And besides that, yeah, the rest of the shows continue. Let's get started. So for Dead Demons, Dededede Destruction, episode 16, I'm gonna start off with the show. It's so good. Please watch it. I know if you're following my channel, I talk about it a lot, but yeah, everyone watch it. Come on. I barely see any discussion, but it's so fire. I know like the manga, it was like kind of cult-like. It's like pretty good, but the actual story in the anime, high quality. Every character is like insanely well written. Their dialogue is nice, and then it's the scenery, the atmosphere was like building up to this like kind of big explosion. Like, you know, the world ending. It finally ended this episode. Finally, it was well worth it. Nothing was really underwhelming. Everything made sense, and then yeah, I was just on the edge of my seat. What's gonna happen? So it starts off with us like realizing that the UFO is about to explode very soon. And then Oba, he's trying to stop it. So he has the secret password to like the alien mothership. The password is friend. It's a very nice and positive password. And yeah, he kind of flies up to the UFO. Problem is the government starts shooting him with their green like automatic firing lasers, so his arm kind of gets burned a bit. So yeah, my dude looks super injured. All the regular people are trying to like evacuate Tokyo. There's still like a lot of people still in the city, but yeah, most people are like, you know, trying to leave. Besides all the military stuff, there's also the main antagonist. So yeah, this dude Kenichi, who's like kind of running the like rebellion group. So he's like very nihilistic pilled. He wants to like have the whole world destroyed, and he'll kind of like lead the new society with like this like kind of apocalyptic world. But before we get there, he kind of like blocks Oba's path, kind of shoots him with the gun. He has the invisibility cloak and the flying device, so he's like kind of facing off against Oba. But then all the aliens kind of help Oba. They surround Kenichi to kind of blow him up, and then he like falls off the UFO. So we see him later. He doesn't die, but he gets like kind of injured. But yeah, besides that, Oba kind of goes into the mothership, writes the password, and he's like too late. The ship explodes. So we get details from Kenichi on what happens when the UFO actually explodes. So like the magnetic field around the ship kind of like spreads out from the explosion. So yeah, besides aliens, there's like gods that are also like kind of doing something, like a higher life form. So yeah, that stuff was like unexplained. Maybe that's like the demons from the title, like these are the demons. But yeah, basically the explosion kind of spreads out this like dangerous magnetic field. And basically, if you touch it, then you blow up. So like the entire planet is basically uninhabitable. You're just risking death every time you go outside and touch the air. So since Oba kind of like stopped the explosion early, like the UFO still explodes. The entire like city of Tokyo is just like destroyed. A lot of people do die on screen. But then also the magnetic field seems to be like kind of restricted to Japan. So basically Oba and Kenichi are both alive. They're like kind of, it looks like the protagonist, antagonist of this world right now. And yeah, besides that, yeah, this is the end of the world. Tokyo kind of exploded. We see Automata and Kadode, they're still alive, like thank God, because they were on like this occult club like kind of trip. So yeah, that was lucky. But yeah, finally it's like a build up. Like Ontan kind of admits that, you know, finally this is like a like sense of relief. It's like they have closure on like what happens with this UFO. Like it was like looming over them for years. So it's like a next step in history where like, you know, good ass music. We see the ship explode, all these kind of magnetic particles flying through the air. And yeah, it probably like leads us closer to episode 0. So yeah, we have 2 more episodes left. Insanely good anime. I'm kind of excited to see it wrap up. But yeah, basically the ship exploded. The explosion was kind of concentrated onto Tokyo, so a lot of people like leaving on the outskirts didn't die. So yeah, again, we'll see what's gonna happen next time, but insanely good anime. Okay, so for Shoshimin, How to Become Ordinary, episode 10. This is the finale for season 1. Before we go any further, season 2 confirmed. So this was such a short anime. I was very excited because it was very chill, very high quality, but also kind of open-ended. So yeah, I mean, it's good that we got a season 2, because if it ended here, it would be like a bit bittersweet. Speaking of bittersweet, you know, Osanai and Kobato's relationship, it is over. Because yeah, they have this episode was called Sweet Memory as well, which was like, you know, very fitting title because their experiences together, their relationship, it's kind of not working anymore. Mainly because Osanai, yeah, she faked her kidnapping. She was gonna get kidnapped anyway. But the fact that she kind of like framed the like gang leader and made her crimes even more severe, that's kind of like a bad thing to do. She's kind of like, you know, easygoing. She's like, yeah, this was like my idea, my plan. And Kobato's like, bitch, you're crazy. So Kobato and Osanai, they're both kind of like, you know, fake in real life. They both have like kind of cynical attitudes. So that kind of like explains their kind of sociopathic attitude right now. They don't really care about the consequences. They only care about like themselves, kind of protecting themselves. It's kind of like understandable for Osanai because throughout this anime, she's been like done wrong so much. So many mild inconveniences, like, you know, eating like a cupcake that has like hot sauce in it, having her bike stolen, her cake kind of thrown on the floor, and then, you know, like the principal kind of yelling at her for like, you know, not taking care of her stuff. These are all like kind of small things. They don't really justify, you know, being a criminal. But yeah, like Kobato tries to like talk that sense into her, but she doesn't really like agree with him. So yeah, this big disagreement, because like Kobato seems to be like the more kind of grounded guy. Osanai still doesn't really care. So yeah, this big incident kind of leads to their breakup. They weren't really going out anyway. It was just like, you know, they're hanging out, I guess. That's what they're telling themselves. But yeah, it does feel like a big breakup for them. They're all kind of sad. And it kind of like definitely feels like an end to like, you know, the anime. So the relationship was being formed to like, you know, become ordinary. Just like, you know, act like normal people. Don't act like you're out for revenge or hate people. But then the fact that they're together, they keep enabling each other because they like doing like, you know, playing like mysteries and puzzles with each other. So the both of them together kind of attract unwanted trouble. That's like another reason they're splitting up. So yeah, it was a sweet memory because yeah, the relationship is now over. But wait, it must be nice to be the main characters because both Kobato and Osanai both have like this kind of like significant other love interest kind of like clinging onto them. So yeah, they have like an easy rebound. So yeah, one of Kobato's classmates kind of like asked him out just like randomly. It was so weird. But okay, good for him. And also like this dude from the kind of newspaper club also talks to Osanai. And he's like, yeah, I like to hang out. Maybe he's trying to like interview her because like, you know, she did get kidnapped. So it might be like worth writing in the news. But then they're kind of like censoring him. So yeah, like, you know, new relationship, new people they meet. I mean, I feel like season 2, it's going to be obvious they're going to like get back together at the end. But, you know, like, this is, like, a great build-up. The anime couple kind of breaks up, and now season 2, like, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. Besides that, yeah, the anime kind of ends with this eerie shot of this car kind of blowing up. It kind of looked like the car that Osanai was kidnapped in, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see next year, because, yeah, I think it's confirmed for, yeah, summer 2025. But yeah, besides that, you know, a great show, look beautiful. I'd say, like, the one downside for the show is the mysteries are kind of, like, very lackluster. For a show that's advertised as, like, you know, kids solving mysteries, like, these mysteries are so bad. Like, I think my favorite one was, you know, Kengo microwaving his milk. That one was kind of, like, funny, low stakes, and made sense. But everything else was just, like, very mid. Like, even the first one with this, like, dude kind of, like, hiding this girl's bag because he put a love letter in it. It's just, like, so bad. Also, like, the one where Kobato was trying to eat Osanai's cake and then, like, you know, playing it off like he didn't eat it. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's the one downside for, like, this mystery anime. The mysteries aren't good. But besides that, you know, the animation was good. It was, like, very cinematic. I love the kind of dialogue between characters. It was very chill to watch. And also, you know, like, the sweets, the animation, the food. We had really good anime food this season. Both Makine and Shoshimin especially. So, will these sociopathic children finally become normal? We gotta see. Alright, after that, we have Monogatari, Off in Monster Season, Episode 9. New arc out here, Shinobu Monogatari, I think it's called. But, oh my god, it's so good. I love every arc in this season. I just didn't know I needed this continuation, just like post-graduation arc, where, like, you know, finally we see Araragi hentai out here solving some mysteries. So yeah, this one, it's kind of like relating to like the past story with like Shinobu's teacher, Suicide Master. So yeah, she kind of visits Japan, and as a vampire visiting Japan, she doesn't really know the etiquette, which is, you know, don't suck the blood of high school girls, because yeah, she's targeting high school girls and sucking them. So yeah, like basically she's targeting the basketball team for some reason. We see one girl that kind of like hates the basketball team. The vibe is off because they're all like really serious, even though the team's not that good. So she kind of becomes a victim of the vampire. I would assume that she would become like Araragi, that it would become like subjects of the vampire, and then like the vampire would live on in them. But no, they all just turn into like mummified corpses. None of them really die, but they're just like drained of blood. But yeah, there's like 3+ victims. So we see Gaia, yes, fun new character. She's here again. So she's about to explain everything. Gives a job to Araragi. So yeah, she's like, this is your last job. If you succeed in this, I won't bother you throughout college. Like, these 4 years are all yours. You can have fun, become like a regular student and live your life. So yeah, he really wants to like kind of succeed in this mission. So yeah, it's him and Guyan kind of together. He has some leads, but yeah, basically they find another body in a shed. She has like this coded message on her that says B77Q. They realize like B and Q are actually like 6 and 9 if they're like lowercase, so it's 6779. Like cryptography things trying to decode the message. It was kind of interesting. And basically this B77Q code kind of turns into DVS, which stands for Deathtopia Virtuoso Suicide Master, who is, you know, who is the vampire we're searching for. So this looks like it's her calling card, and yeah, I don't know why, but maybe she wants someone to find her, I guess. So yeah, Aragi's out here trying to like track her down. He kind of meets up with Kanbaru again, the monkey girl with the hand, and then yeah, they talk about like the basketball team. But you know, yeah, same kind of flirty, fan servicey dialogue. It's all here. Aragi, his appearance, he also has like long hair with the ahoki still up there, so he looks a bit cooler, I guess, kind of like hippie mode. And yeah, besides that, we kind of end the episode there, basically setting up the scene where like, you know, post graduation, Aragi's in college, he has to like solve this mystery with all these girls getting their blood sucked out. So yeah, he has some good leads. The story will continue, I guess, but yeah, I'm very excited. I want to see like if there's any cool animation because Shaft has been cooking every arc. So yeah, definitely can't wait to get more. Also, after that, we have My Wife Has No Emotion, episode 12. This is the finale. Kind of like a dystopian ass anime because it's crazy. It's like I love shows that do this though, where they have a theme and then they go so hard into the theme. So this theme is that the dude's wife is a robot, but then he like makes like a whole family with her. He has like a robot child. His whole family's accepting of her. They kind of like upgrade her, so she has like, you know, softer lips. She can like do her job easily, and she can like kind of kiss the main character, all that stuff. So I just like going hard on like making this wife kind of love him, and like that was good. But the entire concept of this show is just like unsalvageable. Because yeah, I mean, it feels like this will be like the future. I guess that's what they're pointing at, where like, you know, people will get attached to robots that are very realistic. But yeah, just like a very uncomfortable concept. So I mean, I'd say it was well executed, but that's all I can give it. The animation itself was very low quality, so yeah, nothing to write home about there. The little child robot was very creepy. I didn't like that. Also, didn't like how everyone is so accepting of it. Like his little sister is like so obsessed with human robot relationships, and then his parents are like, "Yeah, it's fine." It's kind of funny because they saw that like her love was like a bug. It was kind of like programmed by her original owner. So then like they want a factory reset her and everything. So there was like an arc with that. But besides that, you know, like it's a story of a dude and his wife. It's kind of like a low quality model robot, but then they like kind of get feelings for each other. He marries her, and then like she gets upgraded, she becomes better, and they have a child robot together. So that's what happened. I don't really recommend the show at all, but you know, maybe if you're curious about AI, about the future, you could watch this anime and say that you've been on ground zero. Like, yeah, like, I don't recommend this show really, but it did finish up, so kind of cute and wholesome. We have a lot better romance shows this season though. Pseudo Harem, Too Many Losing Heroines, Alya. So even the stepsister one is better than this one, I'd say, and I hate the stepsister one. So I'll talk about all of those right now as well. So yeah, I mean, Pseudo Harem episode 11, cute show. I love it. Just like, you know, post high school for AG. They're kind of driving together. Nanakura's just like teasing him so much. And then yeah, they go to the beach together. It's just like super cute. We see at the end that AG's drama club in college, they kind of like need help writing more scripts. So then they're like, let's ask Nanakura about her input. Maybe she can like give advice on how to write the script. So yeah, that's where we end off there for Alya episode 11. I think next episode is gonna be the finale. A very popular show. You know, people are obsessed with the little sister, Yuki. But, you know, Alya, she's like kind of holding her own. Here, Kuze's kind of sick and tired. We see that he's actually getting drugged because the little sister wants him sleepy. So then she can like be free to tease Alya or reduce her confidence and kind of beat her during like the final elections. But yeah, besides that, to kind of hash things out, there's no like real consequences really. We see Yuki's assistant kind of like wearing this like sexy maid outfit. And besides that, you know, cute moments, very like, you know, crazy ass plot line with all these characters kind of calculating. But besides that, yeah, it looks like Kuze is kind of like getting hyped to beat his sister at those kind of student council elections. Also after that, we have Makine episode 10, kind of like a good wrap up for Komari's arc. So she's the girl featured here for these past few episodes. They were doing like the school festival thing where their literature club had this like exhibit. She kind of like passed out last episode from overworking, but here everything's like kind of working out. We see all the other characters are kind of like, you know, enjoying the school fair, eating food, dressing up, and yeah, just like a lot of like shows and scenery there. A lot of random fan service as well, which I'm not really too big of a fan of. But yeah, besides that, you know, Komari, it works out for her. And then she doesn't really regret like admitting her feelings because she does cherish like the moment she had with the club. And then she's glad that she got like her feelings out. So, besides that, you know, cute moments, we get closure for her story. And I guess we have 2 more episodes to kind of like wrap up the story. Maybe Yanami will get more of her, the blue-haired girl. She's probably gonna eat more food. You know, she was eating like the kind of sweet dango this episode. And yeah, you know, show's like pretty chill, very good, high quality. The story's kind of bad, very tropey. It doesn't really do anything new, but besides that, you know, the anime is good. Also after that, we have the Elusive Samurai episode 10. It's kind of like a quick episode. It's like very chill. So the main thing is that Yorishige, he's the priest, so he doesn't have his future like sight anymore. It kind of like expires every year, so he has to like have like holy energy to recharge it. He asks Tokiyuki to kind of like gather like a lot of like random things to like help like eels or grain or something, but yeah, nothing really works. But yeah, it's just like Tokiyuki and the squad kind of like going around doing things. We see like the little priest girl also, so she actually kind of blesses like holy water, gives it to Tokiyuki, and that like kind of cures Yorishige. It's kind of cute seeing her dance and stuff, and then, you know, calling Tokiyuki her big brother. So yeah, she has some like kind of mysterious past. We see like there's like spirits in this world, and apparently in this era, this is like the last era where spirits actually existed. Yorishige kind of tells us, yeah, like the age of humans kind of like went on, and then their power and influence overtook the gods. So yeah, spirits are real, but yeah, we're evil. We caused them to kind of leave and not talk to us anymore. Besides that, we see the main villain Takeuchi. We see his brother actually. So his brother's like really smart, but he's also wary about Takeuchi. So it looks like he might kind of betray his brother or something because he feels very unsettled by him. You know, Takeuchi is very weird. It's like a matter of time. They said they're gonna face off like by the end of the year, so that's like very quick. And then yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. But a quick episode, we get closure on like them like kind of beating the ant guy Shokan, taking control of the village, and you know like making more progress. Also, after that, we have Tower of Gods, Season 2, Episode 11. Kind of crazy episode if you think about it, because Bam and Kun get reunited after like 6 years. Like, bro, really? Like that was cool, but it kind of felt a bit underwhelming because they don't really recognize each other, which is like understandable. So yeah, first we see Kang, like the right hand of God or whatever. He gets like killed by the other guy, his brother. So I don't think he died, but yeah, he gets knocked out. We see like there's this bunny girl that's like part of Fug. And then I think she's like also like influencing Bam to kind of kill Kun. We don't know why, but it's like a lot of stuff that's open ended. But yeah, kind of like a crazy setup here. A lot of stuff happened very quickly. Bam and Kun don't really recognize each other, but then the building they're in kind of explodes by like the bunny girl. And then yeah, she's like, it's the birth of a new Slayer, blah blah blah. And then yeah, it looks like Kun is getting buried. Bam thinks he's dead, but yeah, I mean, I doubt Kun is dead. But, you know, it's most likely Kun is not dead. So, yeah, that happens there. I think they kind of, like, recognize each other at the end. But probably take a couple more episodes, maybe, like, next season, if there's a season 3, to see them actually, like, you know, hang out, talk to each other. Kind of, like, random. But, yeah, we see, like, Kun's party members are, like, betraying him. We see Bam kind of, like, retreating with the bunny girl. And we also see Rachel. Like, we don't know who she's working for, but it looks like she's only self-interested. So she's, like, you know, backstabbing everyone, betraying them. She stabs the really fast dude that got recruited to Kun's team. That dude kind of, like, called her out on being, like, a fake bitch. She gets angry. She, like, stabs him. And then she's like, I'm doing this for my sake. I did nothing wrong, blah, blah. It's like she's, like, mentally breaking down, but she's trying to convince herself she's right. Or else, you know, like, her journey has no meaning. She's just, like, an evil person. So, yeah, I love that fake personality of Rachel. Like, we need to see more of it. Because I love these type of complex but easy-to-hate characters that really get an inciting emotion. Like, you want to see the hero kind of beat them. And, yeah, you know, more evil Rachel. I'm always down. So, yeah, we get that episode 11. So, I think next episode is going to be the finale. I'm kind of curious where it's going to go. All right, so for NieR Automata version 1.1a, episode 11. Sad episode again. Every episode's so sad. But yeah, this part 2, you know, just like despair, sadness. So it's A2 and 9S. We see Devil and Popola are still alive as well. We get good backstory on them. Like, this was in the game for sure, but then they didn't explain everything. So you have to really play NieR Gestalt Replicant to really know about like Devil and Popola for real, like their origins. But basically they were kind of like created for like Project Gestalt, where humanity was kind of like being eradicated. So they like kind of transferred human souls into like this like kind of database. And then once the Earth was saved, this disease was gone. Then like Devil and Popola, they were kind of like overseeing this machine. They would like return the souls back into human vessels. The problem is they kind of like lost control over their vessels and they were unable to like do the mission, so humans died. So basically Devil and Popola kind of like blame themselves for the extinction of humanity. And besides that, yeah, everyone else after that are just like androids living on Earth. So yeah, they kind of like help 9S kind of like go through the tower, fight all the robots. It looks like they're kind of sacrificing themselves, and yeah, you know, like it's like a sad backstory for them. But yeah, 9S kind of like continues his mission inside the tower. We don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe we'll see 2B again, and then yeah, that's it. All right, so for Spice and Wolf, the remake, episode 23, crazy episode. Like, Lawrence and Hollow are like deciding, shit's fuck, we're gonna run away. So I love this because every arc, they could have feasibly ran away as an option. Running away was valid. But like the problem is they have to like kind of rebuild their lives. They might be criminals, so Lawrence can't really continue his merchant business. So yeah, here they're finally actually running away because we see the wheat is poisoned. And then the problem with this is that they can't really pinpoint the source of it. So it comes from this village. And basically, they have to throw out all the wheat, basically. And it's a problem because, like, they sold the wheat to, like, the neighboring kingdom. So the kingdom is going to ask for a full refund. And then, yeah, they kind of, like, blame it on the kind of, like, mill guy, Evan. So, because he can poison the wheat, like, in any time. So they realize, okay, what if we just run away? All of us, Lawrence, Hollow, Evan, and the priest girl. And then they can't really do anything because we're gone. They can't blame it on us. They can't, like, call us criminals because, like, a tiny village don't really, like, know us. They have no evidence, really. It's very interesting, like, them actually escaping. I didn't really expect them to, like, pull this off. I think they're all going through this underground tunnel and they might, like, ride on Hollow as she goes on her wolf form. We gotta see. But yeah, crazy episode. Everyone's running away. away. Maybe they don't run away. Maybe we got like a kind of surprise ending for the finale next week. But yeah, kind of like interesting arc over here. I do like it compared to the one we had previously with like the evil Shota dude like buying up all the fake gold. And besides that, yeah, we'll definitely see what's gonna happen. And also we have Oshi No Ko season 2 episode 10. Great episode. So Aqua talks to Himekawa, who is his half brother. So they have the same dad. And he tells Aqua that their dad died. Him and his mom kind of killed themselves, and Himekawa became like an orphan. And he was kind of like adopted by the director dude, who was kind of like his insert dad. So, okay, interesting. The main consequence of this is that Aqua has no reason to get revenge anymore. His whole reason of living, his whole like kind of vengeance plotline, his black Sharingan eye, he's happy now. He can like hang out with his girlfriends and friends. He can be like a regular high school person. He can kind of act in the show business. So yeah, he's kind of like becoming a new person. Everyone kind of notices, so it's kind of weird. Everyone else is kind of continuing, so we do the idol stuff now that we finished the play. So B Komachi is there. They're kind of like making this new original song with like one of the original writers for like the Star T Rain song. So yeah, Ruby kind of like does like this cute dance for him, so he kind of gets inspiration. He's kind of like an old guy. They're kind of like going back to like the village where they got born in to do like the music video, which was kind of crazy. So yeah, I mean, I feel like some shit's gonna happen there. But yeah, story keeps going. Cute episode, cute characters. I'm kind of interested to see what's gonna happen. It's very fun seeing like everyone interact. And then we also end this episode with kind of like Raven Crow Lady. So yeah, again, that's very creepy. I love the kind of cliffhangers we have each episode, so yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen next time. Also, after that, we have Dungeon People, episode 10. We see Clay kind of talking to Belle, and then she kind of realizes that Belle doesn't really sleep. She kind of like just works 24/7. So Clay asks her, hey, why don't you go home? Why don't you like, relax? And then Belle kind of says something sad where she's like, this is my home. Yeah, so the dungeon is basically like where she lives. That's like her whole life basically. So she's not really working. She's just kind of like living, doing her job, just chilling. So yeah, Clay wants more work to do as well, but then Belle kind of doesn't really have too much to give her. So she's like, okay, why don't you rest, relax? Because relaxing is part of the job. You don't want to overwork herself. So Clay doesn't really know how to relax. She kind of like hangs out in the lobby with all the monsters. But then they're all like kind of scared of her. But then yeah, she sees that she gets more information on her dad because one of the cats kind of recognizes her. She's like, you're the daughter of the Wind Cutter, right? So yeah, I don't know who the Wind Slicer is. It sounds like Minato from Naruto, just like the yellow Flash or something. But yeah, he's like this legendary dude in the dungeon. It doesn't really sound like Clay's dad though. She's kind of skeptical because her dad kind of fights things like barehanded. And he wouldn't really use daggers, so yeah, maybe it's someone else. I mean, who else is going around deep in the dungeon kind of killing people? So we don't really know, so Clay is still like kind of open-ended. So after that, we meet goblins. So yeah, Clay kind of hates goblins because they impregnate other races. So yeah, that's kind of evil. But then Bella's like, nah, we made vegan goblins. They grow from the ground because they're kind of like earth nature based. So they can kind of like create the system where they can plant goblins and mass produce them. Because the thing is, goblins kind of die very quickly, so it's hard to kind of like, get a good supply of them. And then Belle also says that they can't really find enough like kind of female human adventurers to be impregnated by the goblins. It's also kind of like very creepy and sad. But basically, goblins in fantasy are kind of bad, but these vegan goblins that they're growing from plants are kind of like a good kind of middle ground solution. So yeah, we learned a lot of stuff this episode. We kind of get more on the working environment, and yeah, the vibe of this anime feels so good. I love watching it every week. It's so chill and laid back, but also like the story, the kind of world building is also very nice. So yeah, this year we had a lot of like decent dungeon animes actually. And yeah, that is it for the week. Thank you for watching again. Keeping up with the anime season. It's almost over. So excited to get more stories. Kind of sad to see like some stuff finish up. But the fall anime season will start up. So I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen next season. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Peace.